For years, people had been disappearing on the outskirts of the city. They vanished without a trace, their lives abruptly ending, their bodies never found. The police had identified a pattern in these sightings. Most occurred in the same area, a desolate stretch of road lined with abandoned warehouses. But the killer had been elusive, leaving behind no evidence of their crimes. One night, a young woman woke up inside one of those abandoned warehouses. She found herself in a dark, dank space with a heavy chain lock connecting her wrists together. The stench of rotten meat filled her throat as she frantically searched for a way out, but there was none. The only sound was the echo of her own footsteps and the drip, drip, drip of water from a leaky pipe overhead. Then she heard them. Footsteps, heavy, dragging footsteps coming closer. She pressed herself against the cold concrete wall, hoping to remain hidden in the shadows, but it was too late. A tall, gaunt man had emerged from the darkness, his face obscured by a rusty metal mask. Blood stained his leather apron. He reached out a hand, his fingers long and gnarled like the branches of an old dead tree. On the table before him, she saw knives and saws and plates piled high with bones. The man picked up a piece of raw flesh, tore into it with his teeth, and stared at her with eyes that glowed with a terrifying light. "Human flesh," he muttered, his voice a guttural growl. "The purest taste." He reached for her, his touch sending shivers down her spine. He dragged her toward the table, his grip tightening like a vice. Then he picked up a knife and, with a swift, practiced motion, slashed down toward her arm. She screamed, the sound echoing through the vast emptiness of the warehouse. Blood splattered across the grimy walls as he began to carve, his movements precise and efficient. She cried out again, her voice hoarse with fear and pain. He ignored her, his focus absolute as he continued to cut, ripping chunks of flesh from her arm and tossing them into his mouth. The taste of blood and iron filled his senses. It was a symphony of flavors, a masterpiece of textures. By morning, the sun rose over the city, casting its golden rays over the rooftops. Inside the warehouse, there were only bones left. The police would find her, or rather what was left of her, and mark it as yet another missing person. But deep in the city, another lock was already turning, preparing the next victim for the feast.